For more than 4 decades, two fighter jets defined India's air power, the MiG and the Mirage. They fought wars, defended borders, and became legends in the Indian Air Force. But today, something historic is happening. These iconic jets are being quietly phased out, not with ceremonies, not with headlines, but with purpose. And replacing them is a fighter jet built inside India itself, HAL Tejas. So why now? Why is India finally moving away from MiG and Mirage? And is Tejas truly ready to shoulder that responsibility? The MiG-21 entered Indian service in the 1960s. At the time, it was one of the fastest and most advanced fighters in the world. It was small, fast, and deadly, a perfect interceptor for its era. In the 1971 war against Pakistan, MiGs played a crucial role. They scrambled from forward bases, shot down enemy aircraft, and secured India's air dominance over critical sectors. For decades, it formed the backbone of India's air defense, simple, reliable, and lethal. Then came the Mirage 2000, introduced in the mid-1980s. Unlike the MiG, the Mirage was built for precision. It excelled in strike missions, deep penetration, and reliability. During the Kargil War in 1999, Mirage 2000s proved their worth beyond doubt. Under extreme mountain conditions, they delivered pinpoint strikes with laser-guided bombs, missions that would have been impossible for older jets. They changed the way India conducted high-altitude air combat. These aircraft weren't outdated mistakes. They were exactly what India needed at the time. But air combat doesn't stand still. By the early 2000s, the reality began to catch up. MiG-21 airframes were operating far beyond their intended service life. Maintenance became complex, unforgiving, and extremely costly. Accidents increased, not because pilots lacked skill, but because aging machines leave no margin for error. The MiG-21, once a symbol of power, earned the grim nickname, Flying Coffin. It was unfair to the aircraft, but accidents were frequent enough to shake confidence. Mirage 2000 aged better, but it faced its own limitations. Life extension programs were expensive, avionics were aging, and the fleet size was limited. Keeping these jets operational started costing more with diminishing returns. India faced a hard truth. Nostalgia cannot protect airspace. Every year, maintaining these older jets meant spending tens of millions of dollars just to keep them flying. In modern warfare, that was money that could have bought newer, more capable systems. Modern air combat is no longer decided by dogfights alone. Today, battles are won who detects the enemy first, who shares data faster, and who dominates electronic warfare. Beyond visual range combat is now the norm. One missile launch from 50 kilometers can decide an engagement before planes even see each other. MiG and Mirage were designed in an era when visual dogfights mattered most. Yes, upgrades helped. Radar improvements, new weapons, avionics tweaks. But upgrades can only take old platforms so far. To illustrate, during exercises against newer Sukhoi Su-30s, MiG-21s were often forced to rely on reactive maneuvers rather than proactive engagement. Their avionics and radar simply couldn't keep up. At some point, the aircraft itself becomes the limitation, and India was reaching that point. By the mid-2010s, reports suggested the Indian Air Force could only keep half its MiG fleet combat-ready. That's when the Tejas program became more than a project. It became a necessity. There was another vulnerability, less visible but far more dangerous: dependency. MiGs and Mirages relied heavily on foreign suppliers for spare parts, weapons integration, and major upgrades. Soviet-era MiG spares became harder to source after the USSR collapsed. Mirage upgrades required coordination with France. Sanctions, geopolitical tensions, and supply delays could directly impact combat readiness. Imagine a scenario. During a conflict, Key MiG parts are delayed because of diplomatic tensions. Even the most skilled pilots and ground crews can't fly planes that aren't serviceable. In modern warfare, dependency is a weakness. India needed autonomy, not just in flying jets, but in sustaining them during conflict. This realization shifted India's strategy. Independence would become as critical as speed or firepower. HAL Tejas was never an easy project. Its development was slow, publicly criticized, and at times politically controversial. Early versions struggled with weight issues, engine limitations, and delayed weapons integration. Even the Indian Air Force expressed doubts. Many argued India should abandon Tejas and import fighters instead. Yet Tejas had something unique. It could learn. Every test flight generated data. Every flaw led to improvement. Engineers and pilots collaborated to turn problems into solutions. For instance, early prototypes faced engine thrust limitations. Engineers didn't give up. They refined the intake design, adjusted weight distribution, and improved fuel efficiency. Slowly and steadily, Tejas evolved. By 2019, with the introduction of Tejas Mk1A, the aircraft reached a point where upgrades and operational feedback combined to make it a genuinely modern platform. This was the turning point when confidence shifted from skepticism to cautious optimism. Tejas isn't designed to intimidate on paper. It's designed to be practical, modern, and sustainable. Tejas has fly-by-wire flight control, which allows stability and agility beyond pilot instinct. It has a lightweight composite structure that reduces weight while improving durability. It comes with a modern glass cockpit that gives pilots real-time situational awareness. Advanced radar and electronic warfare systems make it critical for modern beyond visual range engagements. And it has lower operating and maintenance costs, making it cheaper than imported alternatives. But the biggest advantage is control. India can upgrade Tejas without foreign approval. Systems can evolve with changing threats. Production can scale locally. Every squadron can adapt Tejas to their specific operational needs. This autonomy is a game changer, especially compared to foreign jets that require external permissions for upgrades. Here's the most important point. Tejas doesn't replace MiG and Mirage emotionally. It replaces them operationally. Tejas handles the MiG-21's interceptor role safer and smarter. It takes on most of the Mirage 2000's multi-role missions at a lower cost. Is Tejas a heavy fighter? No. Is it meant to be? Also no. Tejas is about restoring squadron strength, maintaining readiness, and reducing costs, exactly what India needs. Think about it. A squadron of 18 MiGs might have exactly 8 combat-ready planes. With Tejas, nearly every aircraft can be mission-ready, transforming operational availability. Tejas isn't the destination. The Tejas Mk2 is already planned. It will have a more powerful engine, range, and higher payload capacity. Beyond that lies Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, AMCA. Without Tejas, AMCA would not be possible. Tejas is the bridge. It teaches engineers, pilots, and industry how to build, operate, and maintain modern indigenous fighters. Every Tejas squadron today is effectively a training ground for India's next-gen air power. India didn't abandon MiG and Mirage because they failed. They moved on because warfare evolved. HAL Tejas isn't perfect, but it represents independence, adaptability, and future readiness. The real replacement isn't metal for metal. It's dependency for control. So the real question is India finally ready to shape its own air power future? Do you believe HAL Tejas can truly replace MiG and Mirage, or does India still need foreign fighters?